This video is brought to you by Squarespace. From your website to your online shop, build a beautiful online presence with Squarespace. Have you ever wondered, what if your hair wasn't made out of hair? What if it was like fire or like little tiny trees or something? Let's do it. Let's design hairdos based off of, well, 5 elements. Starting off with what I think is the most inspirational element to create into hair, we have fire. I think making someone's head on fire, whether it be Skull Firehead Man superhero dude, or just like literally a floating skull that is on fire from Zelda called Bubble for some reason, or even the trend to set people's hair on fire to cut it. Fire on your head is a common theme, and I think it's really fun to play around with, so the inspiration for this illustration is what created the series. So going into our fire for hair girl, the first thought I had was a ponytail that was tucked away by a couple of twigs. I thought that was a really cute callback to hairdos that use sticks to... wait a second. What are those called? I googled hair stick and it's literally called a hair stick. Well, there you go. So I thought that would be a cute callback to something like a campfire. For a campfire you have wood and flame, and I thought I would put her hair in like a ponytail that is obviously going upwards because fire burns upwards, and I wanted to give her a poof of a fringe because I wanted there to be more fire, and I just love drawing fire going upwards. So we have a poof of a fringe, and because fire is mainly orange or red, I thought it would be really cute to sort of base this girl on someone who's redheaded. So I gave her a lot of freckles, made her very pale, gave her green eyes to complement that red/orange hair, and there you have it. We have our fire for hair character hair design. I just have to wonder what it's like to keep up hair that is literally made out of fire. I can only assume maybe she has to keep some sort of wood burning situation on top of her head to keep it long. Maybe if she wants it short, she doesn't keep as much burning stuff up there. Things to think about. Before we continue on with our other 4 designs, I want to give a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. I honestly don't know what I would do without Squarespace. It's so easy to use. I'm talking customizable templates. Your girl doesn't know the first thing about coding websites, and I'm thankful for this feature. As an artist, you need your own portfolio or gallery, so you can customize yours to your liking. It's got automatic image scaling, which makes your art look beautiful and crisp. And if you're looking to sell your art, well, gosh darn, you can do that too. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/KaseyGolden to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video and giving me a place to sell my art. Let's continue on with our elemental hairdos. Our second elemental hairdo is, I think, the second most iconic. First we had fire, now we have water. Fire's hairdo went upwards. Now with water, obviously, we're gonna go down. When I think of water, I think of gravity pulling it downwards. I think of waterfalls, I think of rain. I basically just think of water falling down. Now I could have went a more mythical, magical route and had the water sort of pooled up, bubbled around the head, magically forming shapes, and I'm sure this character can do that if they really wanted to, but today they are wearing their hair downwards as if it were a waterfall, flowing over their face, flowing over their shoulders, basically just long, straight hair flowing like water. Now, I know the focus of these characters was supposed to be their hair, but I couldn't resist putting some rock horns on this character just because, like I said, when I think about water and waterfalls flowing, I think about rocks sort of interfering with the flow of water and creating splits. So I wanted this character's face to be showing a little bit. So I gave them some stone horns to part the water in a way that created sort of like anime cowlick bangs where the face could be revealed a little bit. We do have that sort of emo aesthetic where part of the face is being covered. I thought that would be very iconic because water, like I said, is very flowy. It's sort of covering all over the place. It's just kind of going, flowing. These are words that I think of water. I think this hairstyle is very fun. I wanted to play around with the ends being white, sort of like frosted tips. And overall, I think this hairstyle is really fun. I can only imagine it being kind of annoying though. Everything's wet. Everything that touches your hair gets wet. And honestly, that's not as annoying as everything being burned from the fire hair. So I guess I would have to choose water over fire. Oh, also they have a couple of fishy friends in there. So that's pretty cool. Our third elemental hairdo is something that I wasn't really sure how to approach. It is air. At first I thought about making the hair clouds, but if we really want to get technical, clouds are actually water droplets, so that would be the element of water. So I didn't want to do clouds. It was a good backup if I couldn't think of anything fun. But when I think about air, it's obviously you can't see it. However, tornadoes are a thing, strong winds, even though they aren't very visible because they kind of depend on dirt and debris being in them, I thought I would base this character's hairdo on a tornado, or at least just some sort of whirlwind of dusty dirt air around their head. Once I decided on that factor, I was very excited about the design of this character because I knew it was going to be very flowy, very twisty, very twirly. And although I could have left it at just the air or hair or whatever is on this character's head, I wanted to add a few elements in there. So I thought about, what if this character wanted to dye her hair? Say she was sick of it being just this dusty gray color, so she threw some black in there to darken it up. Well, considering her hair is made out of wind, I just imagine this wisp of hair dye just sort of flowing around her and not actually dyeing whatever her hair is made out of. Instead of just evenly going about her head in this flow of wind, we have little ink flows of black and red flowing about. So even though it's not the effect she was going for, I think this turned out really cool and it's probably one of my favorites. Definitely a very simple design, as they all are, but I just love how flowy and twirly and swirly it is, and we have the blobs of color. And honestly, gray hair, pretty dang cute. Character is definitely the one that I struggled the most with, even though I feel like air as a concept is very hard to design around. Earth was definitely a challenge. So Earth is one that I sort of cheated, maybe a little bit. I definitely included some plants, even though I did want the focus to be dirt / rocks, like the earth, like the ground, I guess, is what my focus was going to be, because later our last element is going to be a sort of wood / plant-based hairdo. So going into this one, I sort of included just like earth, just like the ground, but also plants sort of grow on it. So the base of our character's hair is definitely a grassy base, and their hair is in a ponytail, which I have decorated with some stones. And the base of the ponytail is sort of like a floating island sort of vibe. We have this chunk of earth or dirt that's just kind of hanging on the back of their head and is decorated with some more grass on top, just to make sure that the top of their head does match the rest of their ponytail. And their eyebrows are also dirt because let's not forget, hair does include all body hair on their head, which I'm suddenly realizing is a very weird concept. Does the water character just have like little tiny water droplets all over their body? Is our fire character just like on fire? Just like tiny fires all over their body? You know what? That's aside the point. Let's just focus on the cute hairstyle. Their eyebrows are dirt. Overall, I don't know. This one's kind of weird, but also kind of cute. I also just threw some plants on their shoulders because why not? I wanted to. And there it is, our earth hairstyle. For our fifth and final element, we have, that's right, plant or wood or whatever you want to call it. This one is quite a simple design, but it was just so obvious that I had to take it. Now, I could have had our character just like full of grass and plants and flowers and just had them very bushy and textured and colorful and cute. But once I thought about just like throwing a tree on their head, almost like it's a hat, but like also it's just like a very tall hairdo, I couldn't resist. It also just kind of gives me Whoville vibes. I don't know. This one was just like really silly and I just needed to get it out of my system, so here it is. That being said, it is literally just a tree and I wanted to add a few extra little details that were kind of silly, so I thought it would be funny to think about birds just like, you know, taking over their hair and making a nest in their hair. So there's a lot of bird poo. I was thinking about just putting birds in the hair, but I was like, you know what? I just want to put bird poo on there because it would be very white and funny, and I want to put bird poo up there. I also have a little spider coming out of the tip because why not? Why not just throw a spider coming off of the tip of that tree? The more I think about this character, the more I think, is it a hat? Is it even their hair? I don't even know how this would grow. Maybe they have just like a stem coming out of the center of their head. Is there literally just a tree growing out of their head? If you cut it down, does it hurt them? If you chop it down or like trim the bits, would you just see like a stem? I'm very confused. I don't know what's happening with this character. Maybe I shouldn't think about it too much. Anyway, there is our plant slash wood character. And that is it for our 5 elemental hairdos. I hope you enjoyed it. Now it's time for me to go shave my head and plant some trees up there, or, you know, set my head on fire. Let's do it! Once again, a huge thank you to the sponsor of this video, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video and also giving me an amazing shop/website. Get your own, link in the description. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed these very silly hair designs, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!